on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the 6-Man Show Postgame Live presented by Rocco. Well, that was a thing. That was an experience. You know, I talked about it on Friday. I was like, I don't remember the last time the Magic had a game that meant nothing at the end of the regular season. Like, even if you think of the last couple years, you know, last year, we didn't make the playoffs officially until the final game of the season. And then if you think before that, we were in the lottery. So sometimes we intentionally didn't, I don't want to say intentionally. We didn't win on purpose, but those games meant something. This game literally meant nothing, and it showed. So, yeah, we're not going to talk a whole lot about this game. We're going to talk more big picture about the end of the regular season. 82 games, come and gone, hard to believe, and obviously looking ahead to Tuesday's game, the big play-in matchup against, I wouldn't say these same Atlanta Hawks, because this is a very different Hawks team than we'll see on Tuesday, but the Hawks nonetheless. I'm also not going to be alone. We've got a couple guests, some friends of the show going to be hopping on, some people you definitely recognize. We'll bring them in here in just a moment. But first, this is the 6-Man Show Postgame Live. It's our live postgame show after each and every Orlando Magic game. Yes, guys, second year in a row, we have done 81 of 82 regular season games. Every single game, except for one, which is always our 6-Man Show group night. We always don't do a post-game live for that because our whole team is out there celebrating that. But anyway, 2 years in a row. Guys, that is insanity. That means we've done 162 out of a possible 164 games right here on YouTube after every single one. So super proud of that accomplishment for our team. It's amazing. And then also you can add in the preseason games that we did too for a little bit of extra. And then, of course, the postseason right around the corner. Again, Tuesday's play-in game. We'll talk more about that in a second, but you can better believe there'll be a post-game live for that. But yeah, my name's Kevin. Glad you're hanging out with us. This show is brought to you by Rockham. They're an amazing company. They're in Central Florida. They're big diehard Magic fans, a lot of them that work there, and they make some amazing socks and underwear for some of your favorite teams. But use this code MAGIC20. It'll get you 20% off your order all season long. Magic season potentially over soon, maybe not over soon, but regardless, if you want to get stuff on sale with that 20% off discount, use that code MAGIC20, and it also helps out the show as well. All right, we'll go to the chat here for a little bit, and then I'm going to bring in our dear friends that are joining us for the show today. We got a few people in the chat here today. Matt Harmon says, why did KCP only play 5 minutes? Well, we're resting some guys. This game meant nothing for the team. KCP's a little bit older, so we gave him most of the day off. I'm Jovi says, only positive of this game is we rested our guys and we end the season 500. Hey, I got to be honest, I'm slightly disappointed we didn't end 42-40, but hey, 500, we'll take it. We'll take it for now. I'm Jovi also says, Jet single-handedly let Atlanta pull away at the half with his boneheaded plays. I don't know. A little harsh. I mean, I don't think Jet was necessarily sensational, but blaming it all on one person is pretty harsh. This was just a very, very ugly game. And then Nathan says, we gonna beat Atlanta on Tuesday. Facts. Absolutely. That's the plan, at least. I hope we do. All right, let's bring in some of our friends. I've got a couple people hanging out with us today. 2 people that you may know and love and recognize. Actually, first, before I do that, I need to make sure I hit the correct button. There we go. Now let's try this. Let's bring in, let's see if this works. I've never had 3 people on the show before. Oh no, I've got 2 of Sam and no of Max. Hold on. Nobody panic. That is really funny. Okay, let's try this and this. There we go.
Hey.
That is hilarious. Welcome our dear friends. We've got Sam and Matt, the 2 other hosts of the Postgame Live this season. I figured this was a good time, boys, to just hang out and catch up on the season, just reminisce on the roller coaster ride. And maybe I definitely want to get your guys' preview for Tuesday's game. First off, Matt, I'll start with you. Where in the heck are you?
You know, it's funny you just said roller coaster ride. I have snuck into a stadium in SeaWorld. I'm hanging out with my sister, my niece, and my brother-in-law today, enjoying the festivities of the Food and Festival at SeaWorld right now. So yeah, if I get kicked out of here, if I get caught, hey, we're all experiencing this together, man.
That's so sick. That's awesome. Sam, how are you doing this Sunday?
Good, man. Just sitting on my couch, man. Just trudging through that game, to be honest. Like that was rough. It took everything in me to just even have the game on my screen. Especially I got the Masters on now, so trying to track that. I was way more excited about that today than I was about Magic basketball, but it's all good. Finish the season at 500, and that's what we care about. So
Yeah, that was painful. We've had some like bad Magic games just because like Magic got blown out or whatever, but like this was just painful because the guys we played or didn't play versus the guys Atlanta played or didn't play, and the Magic just didn't play super well. But whatever, we're not going to take too much away from it. But all in all, I definitely want to hear you guys about the season real quick. I want to get your summary. I'm sure we'll hear from you guys obviously in the postseason here soon. But game 82 done and dusted. Matt, as you look back over the last 5 months, whatever it's been since October, how are you feeling as the regular season wraps up?
It's been an eventful year, man. What a season to join in and host some of the post-game lives, that's for sure. Of course, we went through for me, mostly downs. We had a couple of ups throughout the season. But overall, it was fun, man, nonetheless. Regardless of losses, regardless of wins, it was a great time. Great time hanging out with everybody here in the post-game live. So appreciate everybody coming out, being supportive. I know that you guys are very welcoming. Some of you maybe not welcoming as much, but of the new guys. So we appreciate you, man. I can speak for Sam on that. I know he's very appreciative of you guys. So it's been a fun year, man, to say the least. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the playoffs, and I know the Magic are too. That's for sure.
Sam, your thoughts as we reflect on the season?
Honestly, if you would have sat down with me before the season started and kind of unrolled for me everything that was going to happen in terms of like games missed, Jalen being marked out for the year, Mo tearing his ACL being marked out for the year. I know that it's tough for us to look at 7 seed and play in right now. But I think that, honestly, if you go back to the beginning of the year and you tell us everything that was going to happen and all the games that our top 4 players were going to miss, we would have taken 41-41 and a shot at, hosting a game in the play-in, right? Like the fact that with everything that happened, going on that 5-game win streak coming into today, finishing the season at 41-41, not dropping down to the 8 seed or the 9 seed, I think this is the best you could ask for. And no, it's not ideal that, you're not facing New York or a Milwaukee or an Indiana or a Detroit in round 1 like you would have, you probably wanted to be in that situation. But, I mean, Boston's dealing with their share of injuries. Cleveland's streaky when it comes to shooting. We saw what we did to them on national television a couple weeks ago. And I think that this team's still young. I think this team's still motivated. And while we're definitely going to be the underdog, I don't count us out in any playoff series. And I think that no matter Cleveland, Boston, whoever we end up playing, I think that we can take them, 6, maybe 7 games and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll definitely get your thoughts on the play-in game specifically in just a moment. But first, I'm going to bring in some messages here from the chat. First off, we have Matthew Garfinkel, who says, Caleb Houston with 6 2-point field goals has to be a career high. That's hilarious. Yeah, Caleb he's taking some turnaround jumpers in this playing time he's had lately, which is pretty funny. Jonathan says, not our Jonathan, this is Jonathan Sabo, says, I was at this game and I hope we don't play defense Tuesday like we did today. Well, yeah, I would hope so too. We'll have a little bit of a different crew there on Tuesday. Nathan says, Kevin, play in Tuesday. Kia will be rocking. Facts. Nathan, yeah, I know for a fact. I think both of these guys are going to be at the game. So I know at least 2 of the 19,000 people will be loud and proud and crazy. So Luca Lele says, great name, by the way, says, can't wait for the play-in on Tuesday. Positive from today was at a nice time here in the UK. Look at you tuning in from the UK. I guess it is a nice time of day to do that. 1 p.m. tip-off for us. What is that, 6 p.m. for you guys? That's pretty awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Christian says, taking my baby daughter to her first Magic game Tuesday. Let's go. What a big first game. The first ever play-in game in Magic history. That's going to be exciting. And then Joe says they won 6 less games than last year, but there were a few games they should have won, so not too bad considering all that went on. That's one thing that I was thinking about. Like, think about how amazing last season was, guys, and this year how abysmal it was at times, and yet there's only 6 games that separate the two. That, blows my mind. It's crazy to think about. All right, one last thing before we let you go, guys. Tuesday, I just hinted at it. You'll both be there. Magic hosting the Hawks. It's either going to be 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. on TNT. Winner is the 7 seed playing the Celtics. Loser has to host a one-and-done 8 seed playing game on Friday. Sam, I'll start with you. How are you feeling ahead of Tuesday's game against Atlanta?
I am feeling good. I think that once we have all the guys lined up, ready to go, I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to be in good shape. I would be lying if I didn't say that Trae Young scares me, just because we've seen kind of what he's capable of doing in the playoffs in the past. And like just kind of thinking if he's done what he's done in playoff series in the past. So just like this idea of like one game playoff where he can just show up and, one 45 piece from Trae Young, which he's very capable of doing, can really put a wrench in things. But I think that if we just make sure that we're doing a good job, put, KCP, Franz kind of taking care of Trae, I think that we'll be all right. I think that we'll host, but then, worst comes to worst, I like our chances with Miami, and I've been public and on Twitter and in the chat about the fact that I actually like our odds against Cleveland more than I like our odds against Boston, because Boston has the championship pedigree, Cleveland does not. So if we do lose on Thursday, I'm not treating it as the end of the world, because I still like our chances to win that second game. However, I'm not going into Tuesday thinking maybe we should lose this game. Win it, lock in the playoff series. Let's not mess around with that. But I do like our odds against Cleveland or Boston, no matter who we take on. So let's get it done Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't want to leave it up to Friday's game. That'd be too terrifying. Before I get your thoughts, Maddie, we have another guest joining us. We're about to test the limits of our program here and see if we can handle 4 people. There's Jonathan. What's up? That's amazing.
What's up? You got room for one more here? What's going on?
Apparently. What's up? We got a lot of people hanging out with us today. So yeah, Jonathan of the Six Man Show hanging out with us. Jonathan, I'll get to you in a second. I was about to ask Matt, how are you feeling about Tuesday's play-in game against the Hawks? What you thinking?
I'm feeling confident. I will say that a history with Atlanta in playoff situations has always been interesting with us. I have still nightmares of a Jamal Crawford game winner against us in the playoffs. So I am a little bit fearful for that degree, but I am feeling confident going against this Atlanta team, having everybody back healthy, having, of course, a Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner masterclass. I think we're at home. I think we're going to get the job done to win this first game. And I'm gonna be looking out for the narrative of the Trae Young against the Magic play-in situation there. Maybe we might see some national media talk about how the Magic should trade for Trae Young. So that'll be interesting. But I think Kia Center is gonna be loud. I know I'm gonna be loud. I know Sam's gonna be loud. It's gonna be good vibes, man. I'm just ready for playoff atmosphere. I really am, because Orlando really has shown out the last season. When it comes to the playoffs. So I'm excited. I'm confident. Just handle business. Don't play around. Let's get whoever we get, because it's going to be a great experience for all of the guys, regardless the outcome. So let's just go and get this dub, man. Dubs.
Absolutely, yeah. And I, again, can speak with confidence that the 3 gentlemen on this call are going to be absolute maniacs on Tuesday at Kia Center. I can't wait to see and hear that on the TNT broadcast. Jonathan, welcome to the show. First off, what are your thoughts about that stinking Atlanta game we just watched? What a mess that was, huh?
I mean, it was honestly what we expected. Nothing more, nothing less. I was surprised that I was surprised that we saw KCP and Wendell, but I mean, I guess you can't really sit everybody. Nice little Jonathan Isaac game to end the season. Game number 71 for him, which you love to see. But other than that, it was. Other than Gary getting hot and knocking down some threes, it was pretty much what we expected. Between the first game of the season and the last game of the season, Gary made like a half or like a third of his threes on the year. So hopefully he can carry that into the postseason. But 41-41, not too bad. 42-40 would have felt a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting a Tuesday healthy. And I do think I would have liked to see Franz or Paolo, maybe at least play like the first quarter in these games to keep that rhythm going. Hopefully they're not too cold going into Tuesday. But yeah, man, I just can't wait to be there on Tuesday with everybody else at Kia.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. First off, if you're tuning into the show, Jonathan and myself, we're going to record the latest episode of the Six Man Show tonight. So he and I will break this whole week down, plus obviously look ahead to the big play-in matchup on Tuesday, and we might look a little bit ahead to some playoff potential matchups, but not too far. We're not taking this for granted. Obviously, Magic still got to get a win, and hopefully they can do that on Tuesday. But yeah, again, just wanted to bring everybody on and celebrate a year. Again, I was just saying, Jonathan, before he got on, 81 post-game lives this regular season out of 82. It's a pretty dang big accomplishment. 2 seasons in a row. That means we've done 162 out of the last 164 Magic regular season games. That's nuts. So I'm super proud of our team. Amazing. But Sam, any last final thoughts from you before we kick you guys out of here and wrap up the show?
I'm just ready to watch Paolo and Franz drop a combined 77 points on Atlanta on Tuesday. So let's go Magic.
Yes. Matt, you?
I'm there with Sam, man. I want to see it. I want to see it live. Do we have a playoff slogan yet? Is it dialed in like that T-shirt said?
No,
What's the playoff slogan?
That's the NBA's official like division winner shirt. It's pretty lame. But yeah, the Magic have not yet announced this year's playoff slogan because we haven't technically qualified for the playoffs yet. So I'm wondering if they're waiting till potentially we win a play-in game and then qualify. But we'll see. It'll be fun. Jonathan, final thoughts from you at the end of this regular season?
Just win on Tuesday. I want no part. I guess what would be Friday if we don't pull it out on Tuesday?
That's
you
right.
play again on Friday. I want no part of that. Like that situation. Like you go into Tuesday, there's a lot of pressure obviously to win, but even if you don't, you still have another game. But I don't want to get to that other game.
Right.
Just blowout win on Tuesday. Knock down some threes, get everybody confident, and then hopefully we'll be flying to Boston and we can talk about that, when that actually comes to pass. But,
Yeah.
let's just all be excited for Tuesday, and then we can talk about the rest of that after hopefully you get the win.
That sounds like a plan for me. Gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your day. Jonathan, I'll talk to you later tonight. Matt, enjoy SeaWorld. Have a good time. Say hello to the sea lions for me. They're my favorites. All right. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to go back to the chat and see what else we got here today. All right, chat. Last couple thoughts from you here. Let's see. Ukulele says, what a star-studded lineup. I usually listen next day on my postal round, so it's nice to be able to see all your guys' faces. Yeah, very nice to get to see all the guys hanging out with us today. I figured it was a good time. Last game of the regular season, just get the whole crew together and celebrate what's been, as Matt said, a very eventful season. But, hey, a 500 season nonetheless. Duval says 500 record despite the obstacles and injuries. It's just amazing. It's really impressive. Obviously, credit to how this team has closed out the season. Excuse me. Hamad says, yes, sirree. And Duval says, agreed. I don't want that other game on Friday. Yeah, you and me both. Let's go to the box score and we're just going to breeze through this one tonight, folks, or this afternoon, because there's not a whole lot here you really want to talk about. Tristan Da Silva gets the start, drops 14, 7, and 6. I thought Tristan was pretty good. Obviously, efficiency is not the best, but I liked what we saw from him. I like the looks he was taking, obviously doing things, not just scoring the basketball. That was good. Jonathan Osborne mentioned Jonathan Isaac with a double-double, 12 and 10 in just under 19 minutes with 3 blocks. I thought J.I. looked pretty good. Wendell just played 17 minutes. KCP only played 5 minutes there in the first quarter. Anthony Black with 20 and 10. Thought he was probably the Magic's best player of the game. Jet Howard came off the bench and dropped 16. Cole had 2 points in 13 minutes. Caleb Houston played a whopping 35 minutes and scored 13. Gary Harris with 12. Did not miss from the floor. 4 of 4 from 3. And then Goga with double digits there. 10 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, and a block in 25 minutes. Magic actually shot the 3-ball well, for just under 43%. But unfortunately, the Hawks also shot the 3-ball well. They shot 41%. Some of their standouts, Terrence Mann played really well. Keaton Wallace had a triple-double, which was kind of crazy. A triple-double that they took away at first and then gave it back to him later. So kind of wild. Lots of guys in double. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures for the Hawks. Everyone who played double-digit minutes scored double figures for the Hawks. So you got to give them credit for that. I also want to take a look at the scores around the league because I don't remember the last time the NBA went into the final day of the regular season and the Eastern Conference had nothing to play for. None of these games in the East meant anything, which is very interesting. But Western Conference, on the other hand, is very spicy, which I'll get to in just a moment. Hawks beat the Magic, obviously. Knicks currently on top of the Nets with 2:30 to play in that one. Cavs Pacers are going to overtime. Are you kidding me? What kind of nonsense is that? Wait, Bucks and Pistons already in overtime? Oh, gross. I am so glad I'm not a fan of any of those teams because, yeah, nobody wants overtime today. That's hilarious. All right, to the Western Conference. Lots of important stuff happening in the Western Conference. Most of these games mean something. These first 3 games mean something as far as seeding goes. When it comes to Nuggets, Rockets, Mavs, Grizzlies, Timberwolves, Jazz. And then this is the big one right here, Clippers, Warriors. Huge one. That's on ESPN at 3:30. And I think that's it. Yeah. And then the games that are final, Celtics beat the Hornets. Wizards beat the Heat. How about that? Look at that. 28-11 for Vucevic. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 41, 10, and 7. Good grief. And the Bulls finished the season strong with a 20-point win over the 76ers. Let's take a look at the final Eastern Conference standings, although it won't be final because we got a couple games that are still in overtime somehow. But when it's all said and done, the Magic will finish 1 game ahead of the Hawks, 2 games ahead of the Bulls, and 4 games up on the Miami Heat. And it's going to end up, depending on the Detroit game, the Magic could end up as little as, 3 games back? Or 2 games back? No, 3 games back. They'll finish 3 games back if the Pistons lose 3 games back of the 6th seed. But what really matters today is this. Tuesday night, either at 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. on TNT, Magic hosts the Hawks. Once again, a huge play-in game, the first in Magic history. It's going to be quite an interesting one. All right, let's go to the chat for one final time this regular season. Let's see. First, we have David Erickson says, why did you only do 81 games? Why did you miss? Every year, we have a 6-man show group night where we invite all of our listeners to join us at a Magic game. And this year, it was the Oklahoma City game. And so, wait. Yeah, that's right. It was the Oklahoma City game back in December, I want to say. And so, yeah, we always have our whole team go to that game, and so we don't do a post-game live just so we can enjoy the game and hang out with each other and hang out with viewers and listeners. And so same thing like we did last season, and then this season we just missed the group night. But yeah, 81 out of 82 games. Not bad. Jacob says, good work this season, guys. Thank you so much, Jacob. Appreciate that. And Hamad says, appreciate you, Kevin, and the 6-man team for hosting these and being a place to celebrate / dump my emotions throughout this crazy season. Yeah, crazy indeed. Never seen anything like it. And to be honest, I hope I don't ever see anything like it ever again because it was a roller coaster. And obviously the injuries are zero fun. But hey, postseason basketball, a little over 48 hours away. Hard to believe. But that is going to do it for this one. That is going to do it for this regular season. Hard to believe. 82 games come and gone. Amazing. Yeah, we are looking forward to Tuesday night. Magic hosting these Hawks. Win, and you're in the playoffs as the 7th seed. Lose, and things get dicey as you wait for Friday. Let's plan for a win. Regardless, win or loss, we'll be right back here afterwards. But until then, of course, let's go Magic!